Hello, welcome on our channel. The episode will be slightly different today. We have a new set that we are trying to test. Hopefully the quality of the sound will be nice. Do you want to say a few words about it?
So we have new microphones, but we also lost a gimbal because it just overheated and died just this morning. So we have a couple of new devices and one device less. So mixed feelings.
I don't know. Just in case you have the old microphones as well, because obviously we're not sure how it's going to work. Hopefully the quality overall will improve. I'm a bit worried about the gimbal, but anyway, I'm really happy to be here. Obviously, another Saturday, and we will be listening to Jimmy, which is
Intermission.
Yes, of course, Jimmy and Intermission. Intermission first. Actually, from my understanding, you want to run both songs at once without any.
Yeah, I'm thinking about no pausing. So yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just let me know when it starts, just to give me a feeling, because obviously.
I'll just wave to you. So.
Great. Hopefully I will figure this out, because obviously I never heard the song, so I want to ensure that I'm able to distinguish between Jimmy and Intermission. Thank you again so much for your comments under our last video. As you know, we've listened to Hooker with a Penis. I had a mixed feelings, as you know. The comments been quite helpful, in all honesty. I think the main theme was the hypocrisy and the hypocrisy of fans. That was the theme, but there was also quite a lot of interesting stuff about consumerism and these whole consumptionism society metaphor. There was a few voices that it's simply overanalysis of the song, and it was really literal as well. But I'm extremely excited for this song. I know there should be a lot in it, and that's what I'm looking for really. So yes, let's start it.
I've got lyrics.
Yes, I've got them as well.
Okay, so we can start. It's pretty cool.
Like a fun part.
Showing me where it all
That's it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Again, really, really short. That's how I felt it. I'm really, really inclined to listen to more songs, in all honesty. I think it was really, really, really strong. It was really beautiful. And on the musical level as well. This, like the expanding on certain words with this expression. It was beautiful.
And some of them, how to say that, like his voice in some parts was like waving very nicely. It's something new, I think, that we haven't heard yet.
I felt like it was again like there's professionalism, really. You can feel it much more in this album in particular as to compared to the other ones. But let's talk about the words. This is extremely powerful song, you know. Would you like to start? Because I did what I did, because obviously I've seen bits and bobs in the comments again. I know that this is supposed to be about his experience in particular in relation to his mom. So I was expecting that it will be strong. Maybe I shouldn't expect anything considering the last video, but yeah, I was hoping it will be something of this sort, really, and I'm not disappointed this time, to be honest. 11. I'm assuming it refers to his age. I did read a little bit of, just main points from biography of Maynard, and I do know there was actually quite a few really extreme experiences throughout his life, from early stages up to the adolescence. Now, he was 11 years old, right?
I think first thing we should mention is the title Jimmy. So I guess it's himself as James, Jimmy. When he was young, probably that's how he was referred to by other people, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jimmy. I genuinely took it as himself, but I didn't think... It's also with lowercase. It starts not with not as you would expect that.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
It may refer to the fact that, I don't know, perhaps it refers that he was young. Maybe that's why it's a lowercase. I don't know. What do you think?
Could be. I don't have any other theories about that.
I do know. Let me just look up. I made some notes as well about the main, points to reflect upon in his life. And when he was 11, his mom was paralyzed from cerebral aneurysm, which was in 1976. So that must have been a really, really hard and strong experience. I would even say it was a childhood trauma.
So this is when he was 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Which this essentially, experiences like this, they leave a scar on adolescent's life. But more importantly, throughout the song, I think the words have a lot of meaning within them. I think they are really, really interesting. I would even say it kind of shows as it was his own reflection on his life. It reminds me of some coping techniques, from CBT therapy, for example. So that's the reflection on his childhood and the way his experience shaped him.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that definitely this song is very personal to himself. It is like, I'm not trying to find any like more broad meaning, I guess. It's very personal to him, and maybe, like you said, it's a coping mechanism. Maybe he's trying to rewrite his maybe he's trying to, how to say that, rewrite his own memories, so he can cope with this right now, if you know what I mean.
That's interesting. You're saying rewrite.
Yeah, shed new light onto, because the memories we have are not 100% of what happened. It's just our first interpretation of what happened, and second, they are distorted by our own we lose our memories and things like that, in a way. So the memories are always distorted. So you can shed a new light into your memories to have them, because if he's thinking about this time when he was 11, he can choose to think about those events in different ways. and if he chooses to think about them in a particular way that will help him heal and like move on with his life, maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, so that's what kind of was my thought throughout the song. I made a note of certain words. There was reference where it all began, defending the light, reunite. So for me, those words was again this kind of self-reflection of those experiences. So you're absolutely right. I think it is really, really personal song. But when you look at the song, even though it is personal, there's still a lot that you can take out from it, and that you can reflect upon, really. Because for me, it's almost as if he now understands, or he is attempting to understand his emotions that been all around him when he was 11, and now he's trying to put this into words. And again, reflect upon that. That's just perfect word for me. So it's kind of like some kind of guided discovery of the feelings and emotions that he had at the time. And that's again some of the aims, I'd say, of CBT techniques, or of the therapy techniques. I think it's quite bold, to be honest, that he's not afraid to put this into the song, you know, all those thoughts that he has about this childhood trauma.
Yeah, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's doing that so he could heal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the case. Especially, again, we can reunite and both move on together. Hold your light. 11. Lead me through each gentle step by step. That can be quite strong as well. Till 1 and 1 are 1. 11. So glow, child, glow. So, you know what, I think, especially the last lines, I'm heading back home.
Yeah, what's this about? I'm not sure.
That's really intriguing, you know. It may be that he's accepting these experiences, and he's actually put into terms with it essentially. He finally accepts that all the things he's been through actually made him a stronger person, and that's the acceptance part. So glow, child, glow, to kind of so it's even as a dialogue with yourself as a child, to say, don't worry, you will be fine, you will glow, just try to take the best out of it. As bad as it is, just try to get the best out of it.
Makes sense.
I mean, I may be completely wrong, you know, as well. It's just this whole song for me. So, it's like this reflection on your experiences, and starting getting on terms with them, and accepting them, and trying to, you know, to help you survive, I'd say, and shape your future self as well, if that makes sense. Does it make sense?
I think so. There's also a verse, so it took so long to realize that you hold the light that's been leading me back home, so home again. So the mother kept the light that was leading him back home under a dead Ohio sky. So I guess, I'm pretty sure he was growing up in Ohio.
Yeah, I read about this, yeah.
11 has been and will be waiting. That's what I cannot really understand. 11 has been and will be waiting, defending his light.
You know what? It may be the case that there's still, you know, the any type of trauma and any type of extreme experiences like this, especially when you are still a child, when you are still not fully grown, and maybe you don't understand your own emotions, certain emotions appearing in your life for the first time. So at this stage, you may not realize, exactly as he's saying, how to cope with all of this. And for me, I'd say you hold the light that's been leading me back home. It may be some kind of deep reflection of the realization that for this whole time, it's only now that I fully understand what happened to me and what will be the way to move forward. So that's what we can say. That's why he then says, under a dead Ohio sky. So it's like, it has a really negative meaning, the place where he was born, the place where he comes from, in this particular song. And it may be because there was a loads of negative emotions and things that were holding him back because of these thoughts he had in his head in relation to this experience.
Again, I think this is very personal song, so it's really hard to like say anything about it more than like he's the one who knows the most about himself. So it's almost like we should treat it as it is, just it's for himself, not for us, I guess.
Yeah, that's also a valid point. When I don't think it's, when you think about it this way, if it's like so personal, it's actually inappropriate, I'd say, to kind of try to analyze what was going through his mind. But I mean, we can still attempt, to look at this on the more general level and discuss certain general themes that happen in the development and in the childhood experiences. There may be some extreme strong bond attachment. And in the relationship he had with his mom, but yeah, that's definitely not for us to judge, and not for us to kind of try put our, I don't know, I'm trying to look for the right word, maybe to put our shoes into their lives, as if that's how it sounds even. So yeah, now maybe we should stop at this point and maybe not
like you said, it
analyze
almost feels inappropriate. It's like his very touchy and personal experiences that he's just sharing. It almost feels appropriate to just listen and to feel for him and maybe admire him for just sharing this and growing up out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely admirable, but what if he is sharing it for a reason? And something that can be actually a lesson to all of us, that, most of us probably had some tough stuff in our lives. We have the baggages of emotions, of certain experiences, and maybe it's also like a manifesto that we should attempt to reflect upon it, and we should attempt to analyze it, and we can discover some positives in what we consider negatives. Maybe I'm a bit off now, but maybe, a self-reflection will help identify the problems in our life. And that's what I think we can take from the song. And that's what I wouldn't think he would mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense, I agree. I was also reading a couple of first verses, and it is a little bit like saying goodbye to his mom as well. So, like you said, his mom was, after he was 11, his mom was paralyzed, I guess. And he's saying, 11 and she was gone. 11 is when we waved goodbye. 11 is standing still, waiting for me to free him by coming home. Oh, that might be quite deep, actually. So, 11 is standing still. So, what do you think about that? What if, since the age of 11, he was still on the same, like he was caught in that trap since he was 11 and waiting for me as himself, when he is recording that song, waiting for me to free himself from when he was 11. So it's like intervention to, it's like you said with CBT, actually, it's an intervention to 11-year-old himself to free himself from that trauma by coming home, by integrating those both personas.
So it makes more sense now for you what I said before, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I didn't get all your whole point.
It's probably me, sometimes. Maybe I should expand a bit more of what I'm trying to say. But indeed, yeah, and I think like, when he was 11, that was definitely some extreme childhood trauma, some kind of experience that held him back and that he struggled to understand and put in terms with it. So he was probably struggling through a long period after where he reached adolescence to fully understand what happened to him and what's the best way to get out of this trap, like you said.
Yeah.
And but the song itself, in this sense, it's like, you know, the analysis of your own self, of you as a child and what happened to you. This type of self-reflection, I think it's a great tool to recognize and identify the problems in your life. So that's why I referred to CBT therapy, you know, because that's what it is based on as well, and these coping tactics.
So I've got another angle actually.
Okay.
The intermission song. So to me, I was just thinking now about intermission, and my first thought about intermission is like playing time, toys, being young. It's like a little bit funny, right? The intermission song was like playful.
Yeah, I actually didn't say anything about it yet.
Yeah, so for me it's like this this very playful time when he was young, and then Jimmy, it like comes very strongly, like this big trauma, and then so like the playful times ended at Jimmy, and it was like the end. You know
Oh my
what I
God,
mean?
yeah. I think you're right. That's so interesting. You know, I didn't really mention anything about intermission because I genuinely, it was quite clear, like it's like a playground, you know, the song type of, just to reflect that, especially that you said it's intro to Jimmy. So for me, it was quite clear and natural that it will be, you know, just reflection to show that the song will be about a child. But that's actually a really good point. I didn't think of it, but you're right. This all kind of bubbly atmosphere in intermission was probably present in the state he was in up to the point
I would be interested
of this childhood trauma.
What's next song after Jimmy? Let me just check because I don't remember.
But now you know what I'm thinking, because indeed, and there was such a difference between these two songs, you know. So what if there's even more in the song itself to show that, you know, that's not a standard experience that you would expect 11-year-old to deal with. That's this is extreme. This is really, really difficult. You don't, again, as a 11 years old, you don't have this baggage of experience. So how to deal with it? That's something that shouldn't happen. You should be more in this bubble, in this bubbly time. You should still, you know, discover the world as it is, and not have to deal with all of this. That's like another layer to this, isn't it?
Could be, yeah.
I really like this.
And there's another thing that I wanted to mention. Unfortunately, the usage of our new microphones is a little bit interrupted, so we will probably be the audio you're all hearing now is most likely coming from the small lavaliers. So just that. It's my technical fault. I wasn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? The more we're trying to improve the videos, I started having the feeling it's like
No,
getting worse.
don't say it like that. I think it's maybe there's like a little step back because of using something new, but then we will learn from it and it will be better in the next video.
Thanks.
But at
Yeah,
least we
you're
can
right.
hear ourselves very well. I think that's really good.
Yeah, it's almost a bit strange, I'd say, but yeah, I like the way we sound in the headphones. That's why this whole video is with headphones, really.
So
yeah.
hopefully in next video everyone will hear that. In this video, unfortunately, everyone will hear us the old way.
Okay, doc. Is there anything you would like to say, to add to this song? I think there's much more, but again, there's also this aspect of privacy and kind of respecting the privacy and the experience that he was willing to share in the song. I think it is also something worth mentioning, really. You know, it's great that he wanted to share it, and the song itself is really good. It's really, really good. I just wish it was longer. Which makes me think now, because obviously I've seen in the comments that this song is kind of part of the whole triad with, if I remember correctly, the Wings for Mary and the Judith, which should be from a different band as well.
It's a perfect circle, yeah.
But this is all part of this one theme. So I'm really tempted, you know, to kind of
Do the Judith or next week?
Step off from our chronological order for a moment, just to deep into these songs in more detail, perhaps. Let me know what you think. If you will be okay with this, I think that's what I would like to do.
So maybe doing like Judith and Wings for Mary next week.
That's what I've been thinking, because this is really, really interesting theme. And you know, I think it can also be good if that's part of kind of triad that is dedicated to his experience, to himself and to his mom. I think it can be a really good lesson.
I don't know. Let's see what people want us to do. I'm actually very happy with doing this whole thing chronologically. I think it's working pretty well that way. So, but maybe
we can have discussion about this then. In any event, thank you so much for watching and for being with us despite all those technical issues. I hope you liked it, and I hope you're gonna stay with us. See you next week.
Thanks.